What is going on, everybody? Happy Friday morning. Really beautiful morning. Last day of work for the week for the job. And as I get up and I get ready and I get in my truck, I feel really blessed to be able to take care of my family, to be able to provide food and shelter, things that they need, things that they want. As a father, I feel very blessed for the opportunity to be able to have a job that pays decent enough to take care of them. And at the same time, this morning, I was thinking about just the double standards in this country, with the rich and the powerful, the famous Hollywood people, whatever you want to call them. Like the guy the other day that got arrested because he was being really rude to the police, rolling up his window. He's talking about being oppressed and whatever kind of car he was in. You know, that car costs more than a lot of people's houses, but he's oppressed. You know, and he thinks he's justified, and I don't know if he thinks that or not, but it seemed like he thought he was justified in going 60 and a 40. How many politicians do you know that the double standards that they want for themselves, you know, they want to enforce laws for us, the common people, but when it comes to them, they don't think they should apply, such as, you know, owning firearms and having protection. I can't afford a protection detail. You know, I go to the grocery store like everybody else. I spend my money on things that I need for my family, and I budget it. You know, sometimes I struggle, sometimes I don't, and that's part of life. And I don't feel entitled to anything, but I feel like people, once they start climbing the ladder in politics, or, you know, Hollywood, whatever you want to call, you know, the more publicity people get, the more entitled they feel like they are to things. Like that guy that got arrested. I don't know his name. I don't watch football. I don't know who he is. I think it was in Florida. But he said something to the effect of, you know, the cop saw my ID. He should have known who I was. Like, I didn't know who you were, dude. I don't know who most of these people on TV are. I don't care about them. But that's the mentality of people, you know, like, oh, you don't know who I am. Like, you know, they get offended. There are like 8 billion people in the world. Why should you feel special because you play football? You're not special. There's nothing special about you. You know, whether you are a person like me or some Hollywood actor or whatever, some stupid superstar, you're not special. You may be special to your family and your loved ones and your friends, as you should be, but in the grand scheme of things, you're not special. People shouldn't care about you. People should not be idolizing these, you know, these people that do movies or like singers. You shouldn't idolize these people. You know, they feed off of that, and it grows their ego, and it's such a sad, terrible thing. And I feel bad for them because there's some that stay humble, but the majority of these people are not humble. And the majority of them, it's crazy to see. Like, I do know a guy's name, Sam Hunt. I think that's his name. He did the Super Bowl a year or two ago. Look where that dude started. Like a normal person. And then the next thing you know, he's dressed up as the devil, like doing very gay, provocative things on camera. These people are in some kind of demonic cult. These rituals that they do on TV for everybody to see, that they're, worshiping evil is what they're doing, but they are destroying their soul, the ego that they get from doing this, the gratification, I guess. I don't know what to call it. But going back to what I said about the double standards, they think that just because they're on TV, just because a lot of people know their name, they feel entitled to things. Cops too, they feel entitled, they are above the law. Politicians, they're above the law. But we, as the normal class of America, wherever you come from, we need to realize that there are way more of us and we are way more important than they are. We do the majority of the work in this country. We pay the majority of the bills in this country. And they want to sit there and think that they are above us. The only person that is above me is God. That and my family. Like, God comes first, and then, my family. None of these other people matter to me. I get, like, friends and family too, but I'm talking about as a whole, the majority of the ritzy people, I guess you call them, whatever they are. And the divide between us, it's not black versus white. They have us tricked into thinking that, but it's not the way it is. It is literally like on the Hunger Games of certain classes, District 1 versus all the other districts. And they want to pretend that they care, but they don't care. The majority of these people do not care about us. The only thing that they want from us is our attention. If you don't give these people your attention, they have nothing. I've seen so many extremely wealthy people and they look miserable because that's all they cared about their entire life, is to get rich and powerful. And on the inside, they're just sad, miserable people. And some of the happiest people I've seen are just normal families, people in poverty, because they know what matters. They stay humble. They are happy with what God has given them. This materialistic mindset of being the top dog on everything, being the best at everything, having the best everything. I've seen the most humble people be corrupted. I mean, just like that, man. Simple one or two things that they get, and their life goes to hell because they start to idolize material things. It's like a drug for them. I gotta have more. I gotta have the best. You need to learn to stay humble. You need to learn to you need to thank God for what you have and know that that is enough for you. And if it's not, He'll tell you, and He'll show you how to get what you need. But you don't need a $500,000 house. You don't need 5 cars. You don't need a new boat. You don't need the best new gadgets. You need simple things that work. Preferably things that are made, use hand power, because you get more gratification from it. But just thinking about it, man, I kept thinking about it earlier, and I wouldn't say it bugs me really bad, but honestly, it makes me feel bad for a lot of people that they're trapped in this trance of wanting to be rich and powerful, wanting to be exposed to the world, for everybody to know you. You shouldn't want everybody to know who you are. You shouldn't want every little detail of your life out there. I mean, you need privacy in this world. You need freedom. You need to be able to do things how you want to do them. Look at anybody in Hollywood, man. They make the smallest mistake in life and their career is over because they get so much publicity. You know, they could say the wrong thing online and people just twist it and distort it. Oh my God, did you see whoever said what? They must be an evil, racist, just terrible person. And then the media does them no justice by taking crap out of context. You see it with politicians over and over. The smears that go on all the time. And their lives are over and they're destroyed. You don't want to have that, man. You do not want to have the publicity. It will destroy your life. But they think some of them, you know, they might mess up and say bad things. Life happens, people are people. But other ones, a lot of them, they think that they can say whatever they want without any repercussions. And sometimes they do need the repercussions. Sometimes they get arrogant and they think they can say whatever they want or they can do whatever they want without any repercussions at all. Whether it's saying something or doing something or trying to influence a certain population into doing something. You notice how a lot of the rich and powerful stay rich and powerful and they start advocating for really weird, strange things that happen in society. And if they don't conform to it, their career is over. But they know as long as they play ball, people in power, they know as long as they conform to what whoever is in charge right now, as long as they conform to what they say, they can have anything they want. And I honestly believe it's you know, the evilness that they're worshiping. They're giving their soul for whatever they want. But the majority of the people, we can see it. Like the common people, the normal working class people like me and you, we can see that. We can see right through it. But then again, there's a lot of people that, like I said, they sit there and worship them and they give them power and they let them do whatever they want. This entitlement of these, you know, ultra wealthy politicians, superstar Hollywood people, they have that power because we give it to them. And that's the only way they have it. That is why one person can take over the world. That is why one person can cause, you know, a world war. Oh, it's a hard one to say for me. That's why one person can destroy something so quickly, because people can form and let them get away with it. We let these politicians get away. What's going on in this country is our own fault because we let it happen. And they get entitled. They get, you know, they a little bit more. The greed, the corruption, it corrupts everything in their life. Once somebody lets corruption get a hold of their life, it will destroy everything around it. It's like a cancer. And we just sit by and we don't root it out. We don't say anything about it. That's why people don't like all the cops, because they have a few bad cops, or they have a few bad, you know, jurisdictions, or, you know, there's a couple bad ones over here and a couple bad ones over here, but their friends say, oh, you know, they're not that bad. Yeah, they might have done some messed up stuff, but yeah, you know, whatever. And they keep letting it happen. Like that dude that stood, he kneeled for the national anthem. He should have been kicked out immediately. People, you know, have died for this country, sacrificed everything for the country, for people that they love. And they sit there and spit on it and kneel on it and burn it. For what? To prove for some kind of point? Because they think they're better than our country? You have the gay population defending a different population that literally calls for their extermination. How is being gay for Palestine? How does that even make sense when they literally say they don't believe in what you want and they want to behead you because you're gay? So when they take over this country, which they are doing actively, they'll kill you. And you want it to happen. You let it happen. These people that are coming into our country are so entitled. And our government has trained them that way. They have trained a lot of American population to be like that. Our government has trained you to be an entitled little brat to whatever you want. You can have anything, you can do anything you want. And there are no repercussions. Unless you are a hardworking American that believes in God, then you are looked down upon. In the Bible, it does say that the the Christian belief, the people that follow God, are going to be persecuted in the end times. And look what is going on just within the last couple of years, man. People look down on us. People look down their noses. Oh, you believe in God? What about science? Science is great, but it doesn't prove anything. Not in the grand scheme of things. Oh, it's a Big Bang. Yeah, but who made that happen? There can't be nothing. One of their laws is, energy never, it always transfers over to something else. You can't sit there and tell me that all of this, the entire universe, came from a single speck smaller than an atom. That doesn't make any sense. Something had to make this place. Whether it is a fifth dimensional being that we call God, or he's the Almighty God from the Bible, there's a God, and I believe the story of God made us, and that's who we should be worshiping. That is who we should be giving our thanks to. That is the only person that should feel entitled to anything. And we need to realize that. We need to accept that and go back to, giving thanks to him or her or it or whatever God is. I don't really think God has any pronouns. Though we are made in his image is what it says, so that would make sense. But just know when you're on your way to work today, just know when you are coming home to your family, give thanks to what you have. Stay humble for what you have. Stay humble for your relationship with God, because a lot of people don't have that. And I feel really bad for people that do not have a relationship with God. I didn't for a long time. I was stuck in my ways about certain things. And he will humiliate you to where you learn a lesson. He doesn't do it out of spite. He does it out of love. And that's what we need to do with our friends and family. We need to educate them on being humble and not being entitled. Because you don't want your friends and family and loved ones to get super powerful and rich and famous and become these entitled little brats that they think they're above the law, they think they're above God. Look how many people that are above God, and look what happens to them. Stop giving these politicians your freedoms. Stop giving these politicians your soul. Stop giving them, respect the people that respect you. Why should we have to follow laws when they do not? Why should we have to pay taxes when they do not? Why should we have to do anything that they tell us to when they turn around the other way and say, I don't have to do it? That makes no sense. It makes no sense for anybody to have to follow laws and regulations and edicts and rules and all this. It makes no sense for us to have to sit there and follow that and say, yes, master, yes, sorry, I won't do that again, I messed up. You have people in prison for the rest of their life for, smoking weed, while there is crack cocaine being found in the White House. What, 2-3 times so far? Tell me how that makes sense to you. Tell me how it makes sense for millions, hundreds of millions of people that have to listen to a few thousand people. Tell me how that makes sense in any situation. As an American, we have the power to say no to this stuff. We have the power to stand up against this evil tyranny that's going on. And it is up to us to fight against it. It is built into the Constitution that we are supposed to fight against it. It says that. It is our duty as an American to stand up against evil people. That is our right to do that. But when you do, you're thrown in jail, you're persecuted, you're looked down upon. Think about that, man. Just think about what we have the power to do. Anyway, there's my random rant, my thought for the day. Go out and be a change for better in society. Live your life to the fullest, grow with God, and I hope you'll have a great day.